Oh, we lost your camera. Of course, it worked fine until we were ready to start the show. That's typical. Lulu, show me your big fish. Like,
right. Let's
what?
see.
Why are you excited to do this?
Because I never cooked a whole fish before. And I got it from an African grocery store in St. Louis here. And it is tilapia from Africa, which I guess it's from other parts of the world as well, tilapia. So I should
Christine,
buy
you're
it.
muted. Let's see, everybody on mute. There you are. It's like, thank you for coming and teaching us how to make this fish. All right, here we go. We are all here, ready to cook. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Emily, would you like to introduce the chef?
Hello, everybody. My name is Emily Bakita, and I'm here with my very good friend and founder of Jamii Kivulini Foundation, which is also it's a cooking organization. They cook for children. They give them basic meals every day. And Christine is actually going to take us through cooking tilapia. Tilapia is our local dish in Kenya, especially my tribe. Tilapia and ugali. I'll be doing ugali at some point when she's done with the tilapia. And then in between she will talk about her foundation. And yes, so Christine, the floor is yours.
Hi,
Welcome,
everyone.
Christine.
My name is Christina Pondi, and hi, I'm based in Kisumu, Kenya. Kisumu is a lakeside city, and it's not actually the capital city, it's another city within Kenya, based in the shores of Lake Victoria. So our favorite or the most known meal in Kisumu is fish. And fish in Swahili is known as samaki, and in Luo it is known as rech. So we have quite a number of fish. Sorry, was it just an introduction or I'll go into this later?
That's good, yeah.
You're
Let's
doing
go.
good. Yeah.
I went shopping. So, but I did not do like Lulu. I could not find a fish with a head. My mother says if a fish doesn't have a head, it's not a fish. But in the U.S., everything they come in little pieces.
And you want to save
no
the head to
head,
make
no
the soup.
Yeah, so we like eating fish. We people who are based in around the lake region, and actually Kenyans just love eating fish. So we have different ways of making fish, and one, you can eat it stew, you can eat it deep fried, or you can deep fry your fish, then make some sauce, what you are going to do today. So that is our intro, and I think I'll tell you more about the fish as the day goes on. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Let's cook. Yeah.
Actually, the floor is actually yours. Now you need to tell us the step by step how you're making the fish.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you everyone. I've seen you all have your fishes. Unfortunately, I had already deep fried mine. You see, this is my fish. Someone I lived with pinched the tail. This is actually ready to eat, but we can cook it even further. So I'm going to take you through that steady to deep fry it. So do you have your oils with you?
Yep.
First off, I can't see your
That's
fish. Show it, put it in the
This
middle,
is,
a little bit to your
this is
right.
my,
So, yeah, Lulu,
this
she
is
took
my
the tail off the
tomato.
fish. Yeah.
All right, so first off, you just say straight
Yeah, this is
vegetables.
my tilapia fish.
Okay, it doesn't look as big as mine.
So mine is already deep
Yeah, you
fried.
got a big one.
I've seen you all.
I have a
Wait a
question.
minute.
I have a question. Do you take the scales off of the fish before you cook it?
The skin.
Yes, so we are
Not
going
the
to
skin,
start
the scales are different than the skin. You
Oh.
can remove
Yes,
scales and still have skin.
yes, you need to remove the scales from the fish.
Okay.
Do you have a knife? Get hold of your fishes. Like you do this with a knife to remove the scales. Are we together?
Okay,
Yeah.
mine's
Yeah,
already been scaled.
Oh, so you're scared, you
Oh,
don't
you
have,
bought one.
yours has been scaled, so you're lucky.
Oh,
Yes,
awesome.
no scales on it. It's smooth.
Okay.
That
How
fish is
about
bigger than you, Lulu.
I know.
That's-
I'm gonna rinse it
this
real
is
quick.
big?
She's just like,
We should show up at Lulu's house. She's
So
gonna have a fish for a few days.
we will all have to travel to her house to eat all her food.
So have you removed the scales? Then you can remove the gill, Lulu. Louise, you can remove there's that thing that covers the gills. You can cut it with a knife.
So I'm cutting like along here underneath the gills.
Yeah, there's some bigger scale that is covering the gills.
Yeah, they're real big and they're real hard. So
Yeah,
am I
you
cutting it
can
like,
fold it. First,
I-
fold it with your hand. Fold it.
like so?
No, fold the gills. That cover, the thing that is covering the gills.
This?
Yeah, hold it
Yes.
open. Yeah.
Yeah, open it and fold it, bend it, then cut it.
So where am I cutting? I don't know if you can see. Am I cutting?
Yes, like that, cut it all round so that you may expose the gills. The gills, they're supposed to be exposed, the red gills.
Oh, leave the red on?
Yes. So cut that thing you're holding.
So I'm cutting the head?
Not the head, just remove the cover that covers the gills.
So just a flap.
Yes, I don't know how it's called in English.
I don't either. It's like,
So
basically
cut
it's
it
the flap
gently.
cover. It's the,
Yeah, that flap, the one she's holding, I can see it clearly from here. Just cut it gently and mind your fingers. Yes, you're doing it right. Yes.
It's real tough.
so,
Yes, it is.
and
This red part
you're just
doesn't.
cutting that to,
So you
Go
can
ahead,
do
Lulu.
that on both sides of the gills, right?
Yeah.
Don't dismantle the head, please.
Don't what? Don't smash the head?
Yes.
Wow, this is quite interesting.
for Christine, she does this every day, so it's like she didn't even think of it.
I didn't think of that bit. I'm sorry. I hope there's a next time.
It's all right.
So am I cutting this?
For you, it's so easy. You never think of this. Just you do it.
Am I cutting
We
this?
don't buy.
I gotta ask a question. Am I cutting this jaw part or just this gill part? I wish I had.
Just remove the fat. Don't cut the.
You're
Yes, yeah. Cut it with a knife. Don't. You can cut it with a knife. Yes. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, you can now discard that to the bin.
And there's still another hard piece of gill right here.
No,
Is that-
just ignore it.
Okay.
Don't mind it.
And
No,
so I
you see
still
the-
have, I still have the red.
I'm going to instruct you. You see my fish here, it's already been deep fried, right?
Yeah.
So you see the body here.
No.
You can take a
No.
knife and just cut lines, not so deep, some shallow lines, so that when you are deep frying, the oil may penetrate. So just get a sharp knife and just cut lightly.
I cannot see your fish. You have to move it to your right. Can you see your own picture? Your fish is not in the picture. To
yeah.
your
So
right.
she's just putting thin lines across the fish. The cut.
Put thin lines across the
Keep
fish.
moving it to the right. I can't see your fish. Move it to your right. More. Oh, okay. So like this.
Yes.
Yep.
Like that.
Exactly.
How deep?
About
And
an inch apart. Very shallow.
And then do I leave?
Shallow.
Do I leave the?
Just leave the fins. Don't cut. Don't remove the fin.
I won't. But just cut here
Okay.
now.
Yes, cut.
Basically, you're just
4.
cutting through the skin, and that's almost it.
My knife's not very sharp.
Oh, maybe that's why you were having.
And how deep am I going? Just through the skin?
That's okay. That's okay.
How
Yes.
deep? How deep?
Just through the skin. Just through the skin.
That's okay. That's deep enough.
It's not really.
So you can flip the fish and do it also on the other side.
Lulu, have you ever had a whole deep fried fish?
No, never.
Okay.
Let alone
This is
make it.
definitely experience.
I can't
I was
believe
so mad I couldn't find. I've never had tilapia, but I've had many other kinds of fish. But
Okay, that's enough, Lulu.
Okay.
So after that, have you washed the fish?
Have I washed it?
Yes. Did you wash
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
So if you did wash it, now you can take, so you're supposed to clean the fish now after putting the insertions across. You clean the gills. You can just pass your thumb across to remove the red. There is some red liquid coming from the gills, right?
Now, does this red part come off or leave it on?
No, that one is so delicious. Don't throw it away.
Do I rinse it? Do I rinse it?
Yes, you can rinse it.
Yeah.
With water?
You can just run it on water in a tap. You can run it. I don't know if you are hearing me. You can run it on water in a tap. Then after that, you dry it with a towel, with a
Okay.
paper towel. And then from there, I will instruct you further.
It will
sorry,
take a
guys,
long
I
time
didn't
for her oil. It will take a long time for her oil to get hot. And so if you want to help me start making the sauce, we can do that while her oil heats up.
Have you already fried your fish?
Well, all I have is the fish fillet. That takes like 2
May I
minutes.
see your fish?
So I don't have a whole fish. I could not find it. So here in the US they have tilapia, and it looks like this. It's everybody eats it, but I think it's, you know, I grew up eating whole fish. And this is the tilapia. That's it.
Oh.
That's how they have it in the US, but it takes like 1 minute to cook. And it's each fillet is, so this package has, you know, like 10 fillets, but I thought you would want a whole fish, and I went looking and looking, and in my little town, I could not find a whole fish.
Oh, it's okay. So I don't know if you're going to deep fry your fish fillet, or you're going to go straight ahead and make the stew, because I don't know if it is because us here in Kenya, we can equally eat you see the fish as it is on Lulu's side. We can also just make the stew, then dip the fish and boil it, and then serve it with ugali. That's also a way of cooking it. That's another way of cooking it.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but you really want that fish head for the flavor of the stew, yeah?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so my fish is washed and dried.
Okay. Make sure it has no water. Then you can take salt, and you can put some salt in the insertions that we made. You remember the lines you were cutting?
Yeah.
You can marinate it with some salt.
Now, just on the outside or the inside also?
You can also dip your fingers inside the tummy of the fish, that opening inside. Don't put so much, kindly. To be, yeah, just put a little and you rub with your fingers.
I feel so embarrassed that I'm not cooking along. Lulu, thank you for finding a whole fish.
My pleasure. All right, so it's salted.
So it's salted. Lulu, I don't know if your oil is ready right now.
No, but I need to figure out what pan.
So you need to,
Right,
as your oil is getting ready, I think I'll instruct.
So I need
Chef.
help in figuring out my pan. Yeah. I have this
While
one.
Lulu, we talked, and while you're frying it, you have to get the oil very, very hot. So while you're heating it up, we're going to go ahead and make the sauce.
But before I start heating it up, I need to determine what pan I'm doing it in. I have something like this, which would be kind of squishy for it. Or I have this one, which isn't very deep. So I don't know.
You can analyze if you can, if the pan is, I would suggest you use the red one. But if you are using the red one, then it means you will need to cut the fish into two halves. I don't know if you can make it, if that is possible for you, because I'm afraid probably the bones might prick you.
What
Are
might
you in a
happen?
position? Are you in a position to cut the fish into 2 halves?
You mean like
Or-
right down the,
Yes,
when you
into
say-
2 halves. Yes. If not, if you have a big pan, is the red pan very big?
well,
Can
I
it
can,
fish the
let me
The
just show
problem
you
is
if I
just
can.
her fish is so big.
So it's sorta,
okay.
That's okay. That's good. So that's okay, Lulu. So you can prepare oil, let the oil preheat.
okay.
Let the oil preheat. So, Chef, had you cut all your ingredients? Like I've cut my tomatoes.
No, I haven't done anything yet.
No,
No, but I can cut very fast. So.
I'm waiting for you to, Lulu, I'm waiting for you to prepare. As you're preparing your oil, I'm going to be instructing Chef on what he's supposed to be doing on his end.
Okay, so I'm putting a
Okay.
liter of oil in.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Yep. Make it deep.
A liter?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
So, all right. I have to cut up a lot of stuff. So, let's see. In the ingredients, it said 2 purple onions and 5 big tomatoes.
So, yeah. Chef, you can start by chopping your onions.
All right.
Because your fish is not so much, I think 1 onion is okay for you.
Okay. And do you always use purple onion, or do you use other onions also sometimes? Because purple
You
onion
can-
for us is sweet
That is
onion.
a red onion. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
cut into just manageable sizes.
Very small or big?
Pardon?
Very small pieces or big pieces?
Small pieces, but not very.
Okay. All right.
How deep should the
Let's-
water be? How many inches of, I mean, oil, not water?
What?
If it can cover the fish, it will be better.
Say again, I couldn't hear you. How much oil?
It would be better if the fish is covered.
If the oil.
All right. I have my onions
It will
cut.
be better if the fish is covered.
All right. So,
Let's see. And then the same size for all the tomatoes?
Yeah, because your fish is not so much. I think 3 tomatoes will be okay. And do you have
Yeah, these are very big
ginger and
tomatoes.
garlic with you?
Yeah, I have fresh ginger and garlic.
So in the meantime, you can also be crushing on the side. You can crush the ginger and garlic.
So in a separate bowl?
Pardon?
The ginger and garlic in a separate bowl? Separate or together?
Yeah, you can cut it in a separate bowl, but don't put so much. Just put very. Let me see the size of. No, that is too big. You can cut
Too big?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see what you. Cut that into two
Size of-
again.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I like lots of ginger, but
Yeah.
uh,
So, yeah, that's okay.
So I
I
have,
am cutting this very small. Like, so do you have all your things all cut up already?
These are my things. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, yeah.
I have the onions, the tomatoes, and the assorted bell peppers.
All right. So should I start heating up the pan? I always take too long to heat up the pan, and it takes forever to heat up. But,
Yeah, so you can.
your audio is not coming through.
My
Yeah.
audio.
Well, or who, the other person who was talking.
oops.
How about
So-
that? Can you hear me well now?
It is not phenomenal, but it's good enough. I understand. So. All right, my tomatoes are almost cut up.
Is this small enough?
Oops.
Yeah, that's okay, Lulu. That size is okay.
And how much do I need? Because my fish is almost, it's over a pound. It's not just over a pound.
I think 1.5 or 2 is okay.
Okay. And I didn't have red. I'm using a yellow onion.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
But red is when you make it fancy. For me.
Red has a
Okay.
brighter flavor, I think, as well. I think red has a little more flavor.
All right, my tomatoes are all cut up.
Okay.
Wait.
So I don't know if Lulu, you can. No, I want you to check if your oil is heated up.
Oh, it's not heated. It's gonna, if we're deep frying, I got another 15 minutes or so. You want it hot,
It's a long
right?
time, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of oil.
Oh, I still haven't done my garlic. I need to.
So, onion, tomato, garlic, ginger.
But the ginger and the garlic, she said to put in a separate bowl.
Okay. And
Lulu, that onion.
that's all I need?
That onion is enough.
Do I need
Don't
more?
add. No, that's enough.
Okay. And then
All right.
I have red pepper, like I have bell pepper. Is that what I'm using?
Yeah, you have which colors? You can use whatever. I have green because I didn't get yellow and red from the market today.
I have yellow,
But,
red, and
you can-
orange, and green. This is from our other cooking show. And so how much pepper?
Oh,
Yeah, I think half.
I think she froze. But I would definitely, Lulu, I would start your other pan for the tomatoes, start warming it, because
Okay. And is this big enough, or is this a good size, or do I need bigger?
No, I think that's good. But I have, like, I love this induction. Instantly, it's hot. All right.
So, we lost our chef, or is she there?
What do you call it? She is muted, but there we go. You're back.
Do I need more than
We
that?
lost you for a minute. What is that? Oh, your peppers?
Yeah.
I don't know. So, all right, I have my pan ready for the tomatoes. Which back one is for tomatoes. So, all right, I think, what else do I have to cut? I have the tomatoes, the onions, a green pepper, and maybe I'll cut up a red pepper too. These are very small peppers. This is not pepper season. So,
And how big did you cut your tomatoes? Just small?
as small as possible, because I think they have to cook down.
And you're leaving the
Yeah.
seeds on them? You're not removing the seeds?
Oh yeah.
Yes or no?
I don't think there's anything I ever take the seeds off tomatoes.
Oh, they can get
But-
bitter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm ready to start cooking the sauce. I'm not hearing anything from you. No. Oh, you're muted, Christine.
I'm asking, has Lulu dipped her fish in the oil?
No, it's not hot yet.
He has old,
Okay,
old
so you will
school
monitor
electric.
if it's hot enough, you can now dip your fish.
Oh, it's not there yet. It would just sit there and not. I mean, what temperature do you want it at? Because it's still pretty low.
From this side, I can't really tell the temperature because here we just use the eyes to measure.
Yeah, so what do you do with your eyes? What's the indicator that the oil's hot enough?
You can take a piece of onion and dip and check if the onion starts bubbling and changing color, then it means the oil is
All right,
okay, ready.
I'm sure it's not ready. A lot of
Okay.
times I have in the past put the end of a wooden spoon in there or any kind of wooden utensil, and it starts frying up.
Do you first make the wood wet, or
No, you leave the wood dry.
it doesn't char it?
No, it just starts frying it. I've done that before.
Okay. All
right, I think that's enough
Yeah,
to
the
make.
problem with electric, it takes a really long time to get up to temperature,
So
unless you have induction.
Are these tomatoes small enough, or should I try to do them smaller? Yeah.
I just know.
Sizes that we allow them to cook down.
Oh, this is frustrating. I can't hear her.
Yeah. The sound is not great. But think of it, you're getting a recipe straight from Kenya. So I wonder, we never asked her what time it is. It's probably really late. All right.
And how much ginger is she using? I don't have an idea.
Smaller than my thumb. It was a very small amount.
Okay.
So, I'm ready to start making the sauce.
So
You
have
have
you
a hard
chopped
time finding the
everything?
fish
You can
masala.
have a
Yep.
fish masala, yes.
Oh, I
So
don't have,
Yeah.
I don't-
I did find fish masala sauce powder.
we
Where is
use
it?
whatever. It's usually in powder form, actually.
quick
That
question.
Lulu, that garlic is enough. The garlic is enough.
This is ginger.
Oh, that is ginger. That ginger is enough. I think it might be too much.
All right, I can take
You
some
can-
out.
Yeah. And then you can cut them into smaller pieces, kindly.
Okay. I think my oil's hot enough. So the fish is just going in there plain.
Yeah.
And then do I turn it over? I should probably show you guys what it looks like. So this is my ginger. Is that too much?
That's okay. That's enough.
And then I still have my garlic to do, but I think my oil's done.
Yeah, I'm more interested in making how you're making the fish. I've made sauce like before.
Okay, I should take you over
But-
there. All right, here's my oil.
We
I think the oil's done. So what I do is I take this and then it acts like it's starting to fry, but it's not.
it's
So-
not.
I don't think it's ready quite yet.
That's the problem with
Well,
those electric stoves. They take a really long time to heat.
I'm gonna put it on for another 5 minutes. And how long will it take for the fish to cook? Do you know?
For the kind of cooker I'm using here, it will take around 10 minutes to cook. For
10
this kind of cooker,
So like 5 minutes on each side?
yeah.
You turn it
For this
over?
kind of cooker I'm using.
So are you chopping and cooking now? Because I can't see you or anything that you're doing.
No, we haven't started.
Yeah.
No, I mean chef.
Already
All right,
chopped
let's
my
start making the
cooking.
sauce.
Oh, she already chopped it all.
Usually we don't try to wait for Lulu's.
No, but usually we
teasing.
have a visual of what the chef is doing, and I haven't been able to see that.
Oh, that's then you need to change your computer.
Why? I just see your stuff, or and I see something in her background. I don't see her.
You don't see me?
Okay, maybe because
I think she has the wrong setting on,
oh,
Christine. She's not seeing you. So,
But
Lulu, you need to change your setting.
who needs to change their setting?
me. I think
Lulu does. She doesn't see you.
I fixed it.
All
I
right.
had too many things showing.
All this time she was like, I can't see you. And that's because she had the computer set wrong. All right. Can you point it down a little bit? Yeah, let's start. Let's make the sauce. This is fun, Lulu. You're keeping up.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, just like we lost her signal again, so we're pausing for a second.
Are you putting oil in the pan to cook the tomatoes? And
I haven't. I'm on.
You're waiting.
Like, you know how I always go ahead thinking I know what to do next? I've been trying to hold back really much to not do that this time. So. Because I've made a sauce frequent, I've made jollof rice, which is a similar ingredients list.
So we are going to fry. I'm going to start frying from my side.
Okay. All right. Start my pot.
I'm getting ready to put it in, guys.
Oh, can you show us close? You were enjoying carrying that fish by itself.
Well, I'm so weird. You know me, I could only pick up my whole computer. So, all right.
Yeah, that was smart. You washed your hands before you carried the computer this time. I know in the past you've got your computer really dirty.
Okay, you guys ready? I think. I feel it sounds hot enough.
Oh yeah, look at that bubble.
Yeah, so good. You can leave it.
Oh, you even have an oil screen to keep it from splattering all over.
I do.
So
Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. It smells like fish.
Okay, you can give
Yeah,
it some time.
Yeah, I would set the timer for like 5 or 6 minutes and then flip it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's enough oil. Yeah. Just give it some time, Lulu.
It's not quite covering it. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's just okay. So long as the other side is ready, we will flip it to the other side so that it also gets ready.
Are you saying to flip it or wait a few more minutes?
Wait a few more minutes.
When it's ready. Yeah.
It's fun. I'm going to be eating fish. I might take it over to my daughter and son-in-laws.
Otherwise, you'll be eating fish for like a week.
Okay, over to you, Chef. You can. My fire is already on. I already have oil. I've put a little oil here in my pan. Can you see?
Yeah.
And then I will take the onions that I had chopped. You remember our onions?
All right.
So we are going to put our onions. So let it fry, let it just cook. Have you put your onions?
I did, yeah.
I'm letting this oil heat up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I love about induction, Lulu. It was like, 20 seconds and the oil's bubbling. Oh, there's another onion. Oh, here's some more onions. I covered it with tomatoes. All right. So are you just trying to get the onion?
The first thing going in is the onion.
Yes, throw in the onions followed by the ginger. And if you have garlic, this is also the point to put your garlic in.
Are we putting the peppers in?
Not yet.
No,
Let's see.
Wait with the peppers.
I have onion, ginger, and garlic in there frying.
Onion, ginger, and garlic.
I have never put this little bit of ginger in any recipe ever. I always put lots.
It's a lot.
All right. We're just trying to get it. The what do we call it? The cheap seasoning, which is browned, right?
Yeah, so you can turn it and monitor if they are beginning to change color. They're supposed to be turning color.
All right, so my fish has been in there for almost 5 minutes. Should I turn it?
How do you
Yeah,
tell
well,
it's ready?
you can shake your pan gently.
Go ahead and turn it.
Oh, did you hear her, Lulu? Shake your pan gently and see if it's not stuck.
Get a flat
Try to-
spoon or a spatula.
I think it's stuck. I can't shake.
So you want to try to get it, go back and forth like a little bit.
If you force it, it will break. So you have to be very careful with it.
What?
You can get, you have like a spoon.
I can't hear you at all.
Yeah, a spoon like what chef is holding.
So go back and forth like this.
I can't move the pan like that. It doesn't slide. It won't do it.
Oh, okay.
I will
So then
spill
do you have a tongs? You can grab it gently and try to. Okay, yeah, try that. Gently.
Yeah, okay, try that.
Should I turn it over?
If it's still, is it sticking from below?
No, it's not sticking.
If it's not sticking, gently flip to the other side.
You have to
Gentle
put your
flip.
face right. Okay, keep your face right there and say that again.
Gently turn it to the other side.
Flip it over.
Yes,
Gently
flip
turn
it
it, yeah.
All right.
There you go. Look at how beautiful that is.
Well done, Lulu. That's great. So, are you?
All right, my onions are ready.
Your onions are ready. Mine are ready too. You can now. How about Lulu's onions? You can now dip in your tomatoes. You can put your tomatoes, if you have your tomato paste, this is the point. Your tomato, if you have the tomato, this is the point to dip the tomato.
Okay, add the tomato paste also, yeah.
Oh, I gotta find tomato paste. Put the tomatoes and the tomato paste.
You can dip the chopped tomatoes and then just
Oh, we lost her again. Let's see, where's the spoon? Did you set the timer for your fish so it's?
Yeah, I did.
Because knowing me, I would always forget it, and it's definitely not good if it's overcooked.
Hey, how
Well,
much
not as
tomato
good.
paste? How much tomato paste did she put in?
a spoon of tomato paste, just a spoon.
Just a spoon.
A tablespoon, a teaspoon?
And
Whatever spoon is closest.
Or I need better instructions than that.
Just like,
So I'm putting 1.5 teaspoons in.
why?
Because-
She literally said 1 spoon.
I know, but people use tablespoons.
1 tablespoon.
Oh, so
One tablespoon.
that's 3 teaspoons. I need a little more.
So
And so we haven't put the peppers in yet, right?
this is the point to put your pepper. You can put your pepper now. And the tomatoes, just hold on before you put in the peppers. Make sure that you put in the peppers.
I know, especially for me, I don't really like green bell pepper, so I will cook it longer.
Okay.
I feel like the more it's cooked, the better flavor it is.
So we can now remember our salt. You can put salt. Don't forget to add salt for taste. I think a teaspoon of salt is okay for us, depending on the size of your fish.
So
Have you put salt? After putting salt, you can put your fish masala.
is there a
All right.
substitute? I don't have fish marsala.
So
It's
here's
okay if
what-
you don't.
Lulu, I'll read the ingredients off this box of fish masala. I think every fish masala is different. But this one says, where's the ingredients? It says coriander powder, 20%, chili powder, 34%, mustard, 1%, fenugreek, garlic, dried ginger, turmeric, salt.
All right, I think it's
So
time to
mainly
take my
it's-
fish out. I'm gonna take my fish out.
Okay.
Kindly flip it first before you take it out.
Do what now?
I want you to flip your fish first before you take it out. Flip it one more time.
Oh,
Then
flip
you
it
take
over. Flip it over again.
Like
Yes.
that one.
Oh, I had my tomatoes on too high. I turned it down.
Okay, I
I
flipped
had
it
it at,
again.
So is it ready now? Now you can put, I think it's ready.
Okay, you got to put your voice closer to the speaker. I can't.
I
hear
would
you.
I would take a fork and just kind of stick it in there a little bit and see if it's flakes. The
Well, I already
fish.
flipped it over once, so it's
That's
back
all right.
on.
Just take a fork and just sort of stick it in it and see if it, does it look? Yeah, don't burn yourself.
I think it's done. I think
Okay.
it's done. Ooh, it just flattened me. Wow, that hurt.
You can always cook it more later. You have to.
So you can strain it. You can put it on a paper. Be gentle and the oil should not burn.
hey, Lulu did it perfect. I was saying get 2 things to pick it, and she did it perfect before I even have to say anything.
Gotta be careful with oil.
Oh, it is frightening hot.
But you also have to be careful with fish that falls apart really easy. Oh my goodness, my sauce is wonderful. I think with my fillets, I could literally just put it in for like 2 minutes right in there, right before I serve it.
So you can put all the seasoning that you have, like if you have any other spices, you can put your, have you put your fish masala?
I put my fish masala, yeah. And this fish masala, what spice is in your fish masala? You know?
For fish masala, we have garlic, we have ginger, we have coriander, we have curry, and so on.
Look at that sauce. Oh my goodness, look how thick it is. It's just, that's wonderful. Oh, I forgot to put this red pepper in.
Yes, you can put the remaining pepper.
I put my green pepper a long time ago because I like to cook it a lot.
Okay, so you can take your fish. You can take your fish and dip it in. This is, see, you can put your fish in. Take your fish and dip in.
So Lulu, she probably needs to pour it over because you only have that one big pan that's big enough.
Yeah, for her, she can pour it over
Lulu, what you'll have to do is empty the red pan of oil, and then put that fish back in there, and then cover it with the sauce.
Yeah.
That's not happening. That oil's
No?
hot. I won't be touching that for an hour. I mean, that oil is so hot. And it popped on me. It did splatter on me. It was like...
If it was me, I would take
don't
either
have
a big knife
another...
or a cleaver, and I would cut the fish in half and put half of it in the sauce. Because it's a big fish.
Yeah, that's a good advice. You can cut the fish into two. You can break it into two. You can get a knife or a kitchen scissor and cut your fish into two. Then you can dip it in the pot.
Because you want it to be cooked in the sauce for a little bit.
But you're going to go through this bone, so you're going to need a cleaver or something maybe heavier. Like a...
I don't know. Did you see how strong she was when she was tearing out the gills? I think she could do it probably barehanded. All right. These little thin tilapia.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect. There you go. Now you got leftover fish. Or maybe both halves will fit in there. I don't know. I can't see the pan.
No, I just have the tail end in there.
Yeah, it looks like that pan's big enough for the other half of the fish, maybe.
Should I put the sauce on top?
Looks like you need a little more liquid. I don't know. I'm looking at ours, and this is kind of more liquidy.
What is liquidy in yours, or I put a little water in mine?
I put a lot of oil.
Alternatively, you can add some drop of water. And then
take a little scoop of oil out of your oil pan, maybe.
No, she said water.
Oh, water. Okay.
Just a little.
And then my tomatoes were very watery. Yeah.
Yeah, mine weren't. Half the water got left.
Yeah. Yeah, because you wanted more of a sauce.
Oh my goodness, I'm hungry. Look at that.
Wow.
I'm ready to taste it. I don't know. Yeah.
How is it?
That's out. All right. Because my tilapia is so thin, I think I'm going to turn mine off. But it'll still keep cooking a little bit. But
Oh, so for yours, you have to cook it for some time because it wasn't deep fried.
yeah, Lulu, put that fish head in a bag if you don't want it, and I'll come pick it up someday and give it to my mom.
So this part is the delicacy here?
My mom absolutely loves the eyes and the cheek. And then the gills, oh my goodness, the gills inside.
There's actually a lot of meat because she cut it in half. So there's not just the head. There's a lot of meat in the body meat there also.
This is what I have.
She's Lulu, if you look at it right now, Christine's showing her fish and it's not completely covered with sauce. It's just cooking on top of the sauce. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happens is you know, because you deep fried the fish is really dry and then it absorbs more sauce when it's really, really dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it only absorbs it if the sauce is, you know, wet, right? So make sure it has a lot of juice in it. So
Making me hungry.
I like. Is the orange thing you have the can of gas? Is that the?
Yeah, it's a butane.
Yeah, so
it's butane.
Yep. I like that. So it's the can of gas, and then the burner is just on top of the can of gas. See?
So what do we do with the millet?
So can make some ugali. Basically, it just, you know, cook ugali to then dip it in the sauce and eat it. Keep your fingers clean.
But I bought millet instead of, because you guys wanted to do some substitute. So I got millet flour.
But yeah,
millet
ugali
flour, Bakita is going to take us through ugali.
Okay.
So if at this point, if you want now, if you have like coconut milk, this is the point where you can add your coconut milk. And if you love the taste of lemon, you can cut your lemon and just squeeze like once, but it is not a must, only if you like the taste of lemon. And then you can take your cleaned coriander. I didn't find coriander this evening from the market. You can now get your cleaned, washed coriander.
Oh, she froze.
So this is the presentation part. You take the fish out and you can squeeze lime on it and put chopped up, you know, cilantro, coriander on it on a plate. And then if you want, you can put, what do you call it? I think this is so good that you don't really have to put coconut, but that's also part of it, is you can put coconut on the fish. So you have like, basically each bite you get has a different flavor that way.
But
that's absolutely phenomenal.
Ugali, because I bought the, what did I do with it?
Have you ever made grits?
Yeah, but this is finer. This is millet flour. And I hope I got the right.
Right. So, I mean, you can do.
I'm sorry.
So I have. Yeah.
Jeff's back.
I'm sorry about that. Keeps on dropping me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was saying, did you hear what I said? I said you can now put your coriander. You can chop, or you can just pluck the leaves and leave it to simmer before coriander, and we wait for ugali.
So part of that is that every bit Well, Lulu, you're gonna have to do
Sorry,
the
sorry,
fancy
sorry.
plate for the pictures.
Well, we have to do the ugali.
Right.
Is there a recipe on the back of the millet bag?
Each recipe calls for milk and sugar.
Well, Emily's going to tell us how to make ugali. Sorry. But, I mean, mute, I have to cough. Emily, if you could talk us how to make ugali to go with this?
Yeah. So put some water in a saucepan. Depending on the amount of many people you want to do the ugali for. So warm some water. You can warm the water if you want it to go faster. Put the water in the saucepan. Like myself, I'm going to I am alone, just one person. So I'm going to have just this much of water. Then pour there, and then I warm it. Well, before that, let me go back a bit. You need to have maize flour or millet flour, any type of flour that you like.
She has millet flour. Lulu has millet flour.
That's perfect.
And
That's
I have
good.
maize flour, so.
That's okay.
Yep.
I have millet flour myself.
And what's the ratio of the water to the flour? Is it like 1 to 1?
No. So we after the water is boiled, or after the water boils, you put millet as you stir, and then it forms like you start, like you make porridge, then you continue stirring
So
as
it
you add
becomes like
water.
a paste.
Exactly, to make a very consistent paste.
So you're just adding and stirring and adding the millet, and it gets
Yes.
thick.
Yes, until it gets thick, until it's like solidifies, actually.
Yeah, it's almost like dough.
Right. But you don't want it to make it very strong because it might not be very nice with the sauce.
Yeah,
But
you don't want it
very
to taste like flour. You want it to cook a little bit.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you don't add flour until the water boils. So I'm going
Okay, so you
to
get your boiling water, and then slowly add the flour while you're stirring.
yes, until the water boils, don't do anything. Don't add any flour.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because
So
then it'll just make lumps and stuff. It'll make a mess.
yes, exactly correct.
So, I mean, I grew up, we call this cornmeal mash or polenta with the corn flour.
Yeah, every culture has this, have one type or another. In the South, they call it grits. Don't add too much at a time, though. Keep stirring, start stirring, otherwise it's gonna lump.
Or you're using, and you need to have like, I have my cooking stick, looks like this. I don't know what you guys will use.
Yeah, wooden spoon.
Yep, I'm looking for, here it is.
Yeah, wooden spoon, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Do
just
you think
important
that's
to
better
keep.
than, I usually use a whisk like this.
So you put about 8 ounces of water. You put about a cup of water, right? In yours for one
Yeah, you
serving.
can put half or full cup or just half, depending on the amount of ugali you want.
So if let's say you use a whole cup, how much of the millet will you use?
Well, you just continue putting it.
You're just gonna keep dribbling
start.
it in there and stirring it till it starts to thicken into a porridge.
Any kind of rough idea? Any kind of like in 1 cup, you'd have a half cup, or equal amounts or no idea whatsoever?
Lulu, it matters how coarse the flour
Christine,
is
what do
and
you
what
think?
kind and how. Yeah.
I mean, most grains are well, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Okay, the
This is
About a half
something
a cup.
people just learn to do it by doing it rather than measurement. They just kind of stir it in there and
okay,
But
here
it'll be
we
about
don't.
a half a cup. It's not very much. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, Chef, don't add more flour. Just keep on stirring first. Don't add flour until it starts hardening. Let me
Yeah.
see. Is it turning into porridge already? Here we, for ugali, it is not easy to measure. Somehow we just observe.
yeah, you just get used to doing it.
But it also, different people have different thickness preferences and.
Well, that's
Okay.
why people are kind of just eyeballing it.
So
Okay.
with my corn, I would say I put in about a half a cup with my cup of water.
Is it turning into purple already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
add more
boiling.
flour. Just add
That's
a bit. Do you have something like a wooden stick or a spatula so that
Yeah,
because once
he's got a spatula to take it
Well,
down on
I
the
have
edge
an
of the
egg
pan with a
beater.
spatula.
okay,
This
add
is
more
what I
flour.
like making mine with it. But
Yeah. The
then I have to keep
spatula will
turning it
let you
down. 'Cause-
clean the side of the pan with the spatula.
yeah. Okay, well, I'll get one of those then.
There you go. There you go. Otherwise, it's going to form like a crust on the side of the pan.
Do we add any salt to
This
the
is-
water?
No.
No.
This is my favorite breakfast. Is I make this in the winter and then usually put an egg on top of it.
So say it's what we call grits.
Well, grits is slightly different in that
It's got a
They
little
first-
coarser. It's not really flour. It's coarser than flour.
well, what they do is they first cook the corn and make hominy, then they grind it and dry it.
Uh-huh.
So grits is technically already pre-cooked corn.
Oh, I didn't
Versus
know that.
this is cornmeal,
So it's
and
raw.
then polenta is just coarser corn.
Yeah.
But usually, so I grew up, we had yellow corn, which is just literally feed corn. You feed it to animals in the U.S. And then we ground it and cooked it. So I'm kind of admitting how poor I grew up because we would literally buy animal feed. So, and you're trying to make this so thick,
It's more kind of
right,
like
Emily?
dough.
You're trying to make this so thick that there's no water really.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't add it too quickly. Just little by little.
This is what you actually eat with. You pick this up and make a ball, and then you dip it in the sauce and eat.
Yeah.
All right, this is really lumpy. It's not doing its thing right.
Well, you got to stir it
Yeah,
really
that's why
hard.
I always like using an egg beater because otherwise I always end up with it lumpy.
Yeah.
So
And that's the idea of adding it slowly and mixing all the time so it doesn't form
I
lumps.
barely added
Right.
anything.
but now sometimes what I'll do is see how it's cooked now.
Yeah.
I would just shut it off and then come back in like, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Because it's
and
going to
then
turn more
it'll,
to
like-
dough. It'll turn more like dough
It'll-
probably.
Right. Instead of keep cooking it, I can then go early in the morning and go, go to the bathroom and brush my hair and all that. And then this will thicken. Let me taste it here. Oh man, I do like grits better though. Grits has
A little more texture probably.
texture, but then I don't know,
It's so
because it's already
lumpy.
cooked.
This is so lumpy.
Are you? Oh, that means you poured it in too quick.
I put barely anything in it and started stirring. It went straight to lumpy.
Yeah, I used to always make them lumpy until I started using an egg beater and really vigorously doing it while I poured as little as I possibly could.
She's got a whip. She's using a whip.
How much thicker
There
does
you
it get? I can't show you guys and hold them.
We can see it. I can see it.
How much thicker does it need to be?
Well, it's going to
Yeah,
get us.
that's a big loose. Add more flour.
I can't understand you.
Well, it's going to get thick
Add more
like
flour.
dough. It's going to get thick like dough.
You basically want to have no moisture in it at the end.
So at this point, I don't need to add more flour.
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
So you can
Eh?
Do I add more flour?
just add a little flour and continue
Yeah.
stirring with the spatula.
You either have to add more flour or cook it forever to get the moisture down.
It still looks like
Continue. Okay, add more flour, Lulu. Then continue stirring. Make sure it's on the fire.
more.
And then polenta, if you use the coarse ground, it takes forever to cook.
Again.
I
I
can't
think
hear
that's
you.
why I like grits the most, because it's already pre-cooked. So. Just look, can you see? Yeah, you can see all the steam coming off of it.
Do I need to make it thicker?
You just keep cooking it. It's going to get thicker. Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear from the chef. Sorry.
Yes.
Hold up your pan, Emily.
Sorry?
Hold your pan up so we can see it in the pan, what it looks like.
Mine has gotten the consistency that I need. It's very
See?
thick.
You see that? It looks like a piece of dough. It's like you're making bread.
At the end, it's just like one big ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just gets that way by the moisture going out of it.
I see mine is now making a pile. All right. What I do is spread it out and almost make like a corn cake. It's so funny because I grew up Native American, and we ate this very similar, this part made out of corn, but not the stew. We would make a similar stew, except it would be with wild game, not fish. So. It's just interesting how the cultures around the world develop kind of similar dishes.
Yeah.
But now, Lulu, you are learning right now a World UNESCO food, meaning it is very traditional and highly valuable, because there are so many people in the world that can't survive unless they have this.
Hey.
Take a look,
at
Lulu.
Emily.
There it is on
Emily's
the plate.
Like one.
Look at Emily's on the
She's
plate.
got like one big ball.
And Christine's also can show us. Christine, yours is also on the plate.
Oh, let me spotlight you, Christine. Can you show us again, Christine? Yep, so you just have a big ball. Okay. Christine, can you make a nice plate and take a picture of it and send it to me? And I will share it, you know, what a plate looks like with everything on it. So.
I have a question.
Yes.
So like been a long time since I was in Kenya, many years ago, but is this kind of a substitute for bread in a lot of the culture rather than having bread or not?
This is more of a substitute for meals like rice, chapati, not bread.
I see.
We don't have it for breakfast with tea or something like that. We have it with sauce, like the one you've just made. Yeah.
That looks good, Chef. Or
I mean, consider it wasn't a real whole fish. But
I wonder,
Lulu's
Christine,
is going to look a lot
about
better.
Kivulini and the feeding program.
Do I need to add more flour?
Let me see your consistency.
I can't hold this and
Yeah.
stir the.
Lulu, you don't want to add flour this late in the game because it won't
right,
get
because
cooked.
it has to cook. You can't add flour at the last minute. Then it'll taste like flour. I think you're doing okay. It's just it's slowly thickening up and then the moisture's going away.
I think, Lulu, you can cover it.
Wait, I can't hear.
I
Chef,
think you can cover it.
you think what?
For it to, you can cover it for it to cook for like 2 minutes.
Can someone repeat what she says? I can't hear her.
I couldn't either.
I think you said cook it for an extra 2 minutes. I think. Emily, do you want to talk about the organization a little bit? Christine's sound is a little.
Yes. Yeah, Christine, please go for it.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
Oh, now when you're close, we can hear you.
When you're close, we can hear you.
I can.
You've got to stay exactly there. Don't move away from your speaker.
Yeah, because your microphone is, when you move away, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry for all inconvenience.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
My name is Christine Apondi. I'm based in Kisumu, Kenya. Kisumu is a city in the lakeside of Kisumu, Lake Victoria. So I run a charity organization called Kivulini Jamii. It started in 2021. So I run a school feeding program called 1 Meal a Day. So it's a feeding program to nursery school going children in informal settlement of Obunga and Manyata. Obunga is an informal settlement in Kisumu. So our 1 meal a day started with porridge, nutritious porridge to the children. And we are planning to start now feeding them because we realize that these children go to school and probably sometimes they cannot afford meals to buy lunch or to get lunch at home. So some of them just go home, sit, and came back empty stomach in the afternoon for their afternoon sessions in school. So the 1 meal a day is actually to close the gap and to improve the nutrition of the children in the pre-primary school. So our porridge that we give them is actually nutritious porridge with the additional values that can boost their nutrition, the nutrition of their children, because some of them are malnourished as reported and captured by the teachers, because the teachers have the tools and equipment like the MWAC to measure the nutrition of the children. So that is what I do in Kisumu, amongst other charity activities that I engage in. So this is actually
what kind of porridge do you normally cook, and how many kids do you feed?
We feed about 50 children, but we have a plan of moving into other areas within Kisumu County in informal settlement schemes within Kisumu. Currently, we are in Obunga. We are hoping to venture into Manyata, Nyalenda, and Bandani areas in Kisumu County.
What kind of porridge do you normally cook?
The porridge is it's just normal millet porridge, millet flour, but we add amaranth in the porridge. Sometimes we add groundnuts just to boost the immunity and to add additional nutritional values to the children.
Wow.
So mostly it's amaranth.
For 50 people, you cook for 50 kids every day?
It is not every day. We just call it 1 meal a day because our aim was to do 1 meal a day. But remember, it is supported by philanthropists. So we do thrice a week. We do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
That's a lot of cooking.
Yes, it is.
Okay, what do you guys think?
But yep, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Now you have to let it cool enough so you can use it to dip into the food.
Seems mushy.
Although Emily will say you need to cook it more. I know.
Does it need to be thicker?
Just like.
Chef?
Yeah.
I would take it out, put it on a plate, and it'll probably get even thicker.
Yeah.
So initially, should I have added more flour when I first started?
No, you're fine. You're fine. What you can do, maybe add a little bit flour then at that point.
No, if you add flour now, it will be...
Yeah, it won't get cooked. It won't cook.
Oh, okay.
But had I added the flour 10 minutes ago when you guys said don't, it would have cooked for 10 more minutes. I
think your stove is just, your stove, it needs, I don't think you have it hot enough. I mean, you're supposed to be like boiling it.
Did your water boil?
Yes.
The water boiled before she added flour. Yeah.
Oh, good.
And I added it gradually. I think I just didn't add enough at a certain point, maybe.
You're okay. Then it has cooked. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Let it cool down then.
Yeah, that's what I say. I would maybe take a spatula and put it out on a plate and kind of form it up a little bit and let it cool down.
Besides, with that electric, with her type of electric stove, you leave it on there and it'll stay hot for like 10 minutes. So just leave it on there and let it keep cooking a little bit too. So, thank you so much for sharing this. And
just a little bit before
the fact that you feed 50 kids is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so please send me the information and I will post that on the YouTube channel with this video. And does anybody have any questions? And of course, stay afterwards and chat with us as we eat this food.
I'd like to just add on to something maybe Christy has not mentioned. As someone who is in the education sector, Obunga slum is one of those areas that are suffered the most. And you find like basic education is offered by the government. But some of these children...
lost your audio. I lost your audio.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Now I can, yeah.
I can. Yeah, that's Fred.
Okay. Just to add on to what Christine has said, I wanted to say that Obunga slum is one of those areas that their level of transition has been very, very low, because some of these children, even when they go to school and they come back home and they don't find any food, chances of them dropping out of school is very high. So at least Christine's organization tries to, Christine's initiative tries to kind of lower the rate of that by this 1 meal a day, and just also give these children a decent kind of living. Can you imagine if you are a child, you go back home, you find no food, you leave home and go to school to find that education is and you know at the back of your mind there's no that piece of I'll be fed on something like that. So one is on humanitarian basis, and also two is just to at least to elevate kind of suffering and poverty that these children are going through. So, and I've seen Christine really struggles, and what she would really love is to, if not continue with this porridge, even if that porridge is for 50 people, she usually finds so many people flocking in and wanting the same thing, because it's like, it's really rare. So
People are hungry. People are hungry.
absolutely. So so I think that or you could talk to Christine more about this, and yeah, it can help.
Yep.
Really need, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do similar here. I feed people. I feed about 25 families a week, cooking and giving out food. So I understand how much work it is. I understand how hard it is to get money. I understand how you want to do more and more and more.
Mm.
And I just remind myself every day that if I can help one person, it makes a difference. Because otherwise, you will feel that you are not doing enough ever.
Yeah, you can't
And
feed
so
the world.
I have to try to remember that if I can help one, it is what I can do. So I give you strength because I understand what you're doing. And I thank you for coming and sharing. And I hope a little bit putting this on YouTube will help get the information out there a little bit. And sharing your culture and your food, just that. The whole show, I don't talk about this very often, but I started this show, I started cooking with people to teach people how to make simple food, because people don't know how to get simple food and feed themselves. And there are many people in the world who are starving just because they don't know how to get and make simple food. So in your case, you can't even get it maybe, but now I'm crying a little bit, because it makes me very sad that kids in the world are not getting food. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you.